Ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria's reliance on oil exploration has been a bane to our economy and environment. For decades, we've witnessed the devastating impact of oil spills, pollution, and climate change. Now it's time to rethink our energy strategy and give renewable energy a try. Without further ado, I'd like to give honor to whom honor is due. The Honorable Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and our respected audience. Standing before you today is Orator Oswald Favor Chiduma, a proud representative of School for the Gifted Bagwalada Senior Category. Here to give facts as answers to the disturbing question, should Nigeria stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy? This House believes that Nigeria should stop, with the following points to back up my claim. But before diving into my point, I would like to shed some light on the following key terms. Renewable energy can be defined as energy gotten from natural resources that can be replenished over time, while oil exploration can be defined as the process of discovering and searching for new oil reserves or deposits. Now to my point, environmental degradation. For many years, the host communities have suffered due to the fact that Nigeria has overlooked them and paid attention only to the amount of oil they produce per day. A 2008 report by the Nigerian Oil Spill Monitor confirmed the devastating impact of the oil spill, which released over 4,000 barrels of crude oil into the environment in Ogini land. Also, data from the Nigerian Oil Spill Monitor revealing over 1,300 oil spill incidents between 2019 and 2023, affecting thousands of hectares of farmland, water bodies, and forests. Statistics also shows that between 1976 and 1996, an estimated 1.89 barrels of crude oil were released into the environment in the Niger Delta region. These references provide a solid foundation in understanding the effects on the devastating impact of oil exploration in Nigeria. More reasons why oil exploration must be stopped is because of its economic effects. Oil as a source of natural revenue has become unstable due to the fact that all other countries are transitioning into the use of renewable energy, making it unstable for revenue generation, project financing, and other financial needs of the country. And also its lack of investment in human capital leads to lack of skilled workers and entrepreneurs in other sectors. And also Dutch disease, which is an economic phenomenon, which means that a raise or boost in another sector leads to a decline in another sector. And that is the present state of Nigerian economy. In addition, Nigeria shouldn't put all eggs in one basket. In the sense that Nigeria heavy dependence on oil and against other sectors leads to global fluctuation in oil prices. It makes it vulnerable. It's true that oil drives the economy big time, but how do we survive before the oil boom? Talk of the granite pyramid of the north, the cocoa of the west, and the palm fruit of the east. Malaysia is high on palm oil today. It's one thing that they got their seedlings from Nigeria. According to research, Nigeria was the world's largest oil palm producers until the 70s, when Malaysians visited Nigeria and took oil palm seedlings from them, leading them to be the head of the oil palm market. But it's not too late for Nigeria to gain a stand in the global market with our renewable energies like biodiesel, which can be gotten from vegetables, primarily used for transportation, in most cases electricity generation, and most importantly, for us to clean up the mess caused by oil exploration. Now let me ask you this question. There are no benefits of oil exploration from the economic boost to the employment that renewable energy cannot cater for. But permit me to leave you my audience with this question. Renewable energy ensures a healthy, clean, and just economy. But have oil exploration so far ensured us a clean, healthy, or just economy? Renewable energy destroys our economy. Renewable energy destroys our economy. Oil exploration destroys our economy, but renewable energy helps diversify our economy. The choice is yours, but let's remember the words of our Nigerian poets and activists. The environment is man's first right. We must save it or we perish. Let's choose sustainability, let's choose life. The future is waiting. Thank you.
Nigeria is a blessed country with numerous resources. During the famous toxic and overrated liquid gold referred to as crude oil. For many years, it has been a reliable source of revenue for Nigeria. But the argument on if Nigeria should continue to indulge in oil exploration is still ongoing to this present day. Using this as a reference point, permit me to stand by the existing protocols. I am Daniel Mochinjo Joseph, representative of School for the Gifted Senior Category, here to shed some light in accordance with what my chief speaker had said in support of the motion that Nigeria should quit oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. That being said, I hope with these points of mine, I will be able to convince you any reasonable doubt that truly there is a dire need for Nigeria to quit oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. Firstly, in the case of eco-friendliness, throughout the several decades of Nigeria's continuous indulgence in oil exploration, one can easily notice the environmental devastation that's going to allow in the south-south, especially the Niger Delta region. ranging from oil spills, which cause pollution of land, air, and water, down to infrastructural development, which bring about habitat encroachment, wildlife encroachment, and loss of biodiversity. These are the environmental risks posed by oil exploration in our land, which further encourages us to turn to renewable energy as the way forward. Sources of renewable energy, such as air, sunlight, and water, are found to have close to zero air pollutants and no environmental damage whatsoever, which does encourages us to focus more on it. Going further, climate change is also put into consideration. Climate change can simply be referred to as drastic weather shifts or change of temperatures in certain regions or areas. That being said, the activities of oil exploration contribute largely to this development. According to research, over 75% of all carbon dioxide emissions as a result of the activities of oil exploration, and over 95% of all greenhouse gas emissions are also as the use of fossil fuels. This shows the environmental devastation that oil exploration poses on our environment, which further encourages us not to renewable energy. Sources of renewable energy, such as air, water, and solar, like I mentioned earlier, are found to have close to zero greenhouse gas emissions, which does prove this to be.
Standing by all existing protocol, I am by name Ian Precious, a representative of for the gifted Babalada senior category, here to bring not only points but facts on why we ought to put a stop to oil exploration and put our trust in renewable energy. Now, it is no longer news that oil exploration has affected our country in the following ways. Firstly, the refining of crude oil involves a series of production processes which releases the harmful gases into the atmosphere, thereby causing depletion of the ozone layer, respiratory tract illnesses, and acid rain which stress our crops and buildings. In 2022, our Minister of Health shows the staggering statistics about over 100,000 people die each and every year with respiratory tract illnesses such as lung cancer and the likes. Now, instead of providing a list for basic social amenities, don't think that oil exploration rather destroys the lives of people in society. Moving onward, the toxic waste called crude oil is somehow enticing for criminals to go to the extent of smuggling oil barrels and selling them at black markets. Just to show you how instead of creating a means for providing funds for security, oil exploration rather creates an avenue for increase in crime rates. Moving on, furthermore, you will find the discovery of new sites for crude oil involves the clearing of forests, which is the elimination of wildlife and desertification of soil. Now, using oil exploration provides the strength of to protect, and this is not how I am going to stand for this lifestyle. Just as my fellow speakers have said, other advanced countries have dropped crude oil to the dust and are using renewable energy. Not only our advanced countries, but even our fellow African countries, such as Malawi, all thanks to the man named William Kapamba, an engineer who at the age of 13 saved his village from hunger with the use of green energy, a form of renewable energy. Now, in conclusion, crude oil being non-renewable will eventually run out, and when it does, what will be our next point of action? Is to use other sources of revenue that have been neglected for over the decades, but use renewable energy that has never get exhausted. With these points of mine, I hope I've not been able to convince you but prove to you on why we ought to say no to crude oil and yes to renewable energy. Thank you.
Standing by the already existing protocol, yet to cross all T's and dot all I's, is I orator, also referred to the Monsieur, a representative of school for the gifted Babalada senior category. Here to speak a favor of the topic, should Nigeria stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy? These are all the things that Nigeria should stop. And I'm here to add that Nigeria, would you rather give your money or pay in exchange for harm to your environment, when you can just enjoy the free gift of Mother Nature, the scorching sun from the north, the wind from the south, the air that you breathe, the vegetables, and more? Let's leave oil exploration and move on to sustainability. Let's leave the dirty energy in the soil and move on to sustainability. Oil exploration only leads to an handicapped economy, but renewable energy helps us diversify our economy. Oil exploration can be exhausted, but renewable energy cannot be exhausted. With this, I hope we not only clear the ground, but also make riches of understanding, proving that oil exploration must be stopped and renewable energy must continue. With this, I rest my case. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Government Science and Technical College, Area 3, Gariki, Abuja. Our motto is Education for Self-Reliance. This corresponds with our slogan, GSTC, Arise and Shine. GSTC is one of the schools participating in the ongoing National Energy 360 debate competition in the senior category. The topic is Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. GSTC is to oppose the motion. On this note, let us introduce the speakers. Chief Speaker, Michael Ezekiela Ayinlolo. Second Speaker, Chidebere Chiagozilam Benedita. And the third Speaker, Kobo Eric Kato. Let us relax and watch their presentation. Thank you.
So Nigeria leave the known for the unknown. Good day, Mr. Chairman, honorable judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow students. My name is Michael Ezekiela Ayinlolo from Government Science and Technical College, Area 3, Abuja, under the senior category. I am here to take a stand against the motion which states that Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. But before I go further, I would like to define the major terms that will give us a better understanding on the topic at hand. According to Google, oil exploration can be defined as the process of finding or accessing underground deposits of oil and gas. It has to do with geological or geophysical surveys, drilling, testing, and so on. Renewable energy is the energy that is generated from natural resources which can be replenished over time, such as rain, sun, wind, and so on. According to Oxford Learner's Dictionary, 10th edition, to stop means to no longer do something, meaning to put an abrupt end to something. Putting a stop to something has deadly consequences that are too expensive. I am saying no with the following points. 1. Nigeria will suffer immense revenue loss. Do you know how much Nigeria will be deprived of if we were to stop oil exploration, especially with what is going on in Iran? In 2024, Nigeria made $32.9 trillion with an exchange rate of 1,546 naira to a dollar. This will amount to 50.88 trillion with the total oil production of 566.79 million barrels, while revenue from renewable energy is put at 0.3 billion in 2022 with a 10% increase annually. With such an expected revenue from renewable energy, can Nigeria fund her budget of 49.74 trillion with 4.638 billion naira? My opponents may be quick to read out the statistics that emphasizes on the negative effect of carbon emission as a result of oil exploration to climate change. But let's not forget that in 2020, coronavirus alone took 704,753,890 people worldwide. Malaria alone took 200,000 people in Nigeria. In 2024, however, carbon emission as a result of oil exploration are linked to death but are not the main cause of death. Yes, fossil fuel is not renewable, but it has been proven that based on current production and consumption level, oil exploration can last for 64 years with an estimated reserve of 32.74 billion barrels and even last longer than 64 years with new discoveries, which is a long time to stop now. Stopping of oil exploration and focusing on renewable energy is one thing, but sustaining it is another. Sustainability is the ability to process and maintain a particular process, especially in terms of management and development. I don't think Nigeria will be able to sustain renewable energy because majority of Nigerian landmass are in remote areas with limited access. For example, how do you make the Creeks area a part of renewable energy? The isolated lands in the delta to the Atlantic Ocean and the highlands of the north. Stopping of oil exploration and focusing on renewable energy is not feasible. In conclusion, we are not saying that transiting or diversifying the economy into renewable energy is impossible, but stopping of oil exploration is like a death sentence to Nigeria. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, sir, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chidebere Benedicta from Government Science and Technical College, Area 3, Gariki, Abuja, under the senior category. I am here to oppose the motion which says that, and I quote, Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. My first speaker has been graciously enough to define the major terms, so I'll now go straight to oppose the motion with the following points. 1. Nigeria has been dependent on oil exploration even before her independence, so it will be very difficult to stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy, which is a new frontier to the economy. Aside from the byproduct gotten from crude oil, other products like fertilizers, insecticides, academic products, medical products, beauty products can be gotten, which is a contributor to Nigeria's revenue. Statistics shows that oil and gas exploration account for more than 80% of export earning, 95% of foreign exchange, 73% of federal government revenue, 14% of eGDP, and as well as 65% of government budget revenue. This is to show that over 65 years, this is what has kept the country in existence. Now tell me, if the country moves to exploring renewable energy, the years it will take to be stable, who will fund it? My opponents may be quick to say that oil exploration has done more harm than good to the nation's development. It has made the economy vulnerable, dependent on global price and revenue mismanagement. But oil exploration has also contributed immensely to the nation's development. It has been used to achieve social infrastructural developments like building of roads, laboratories, medical schools, research institutes, and so on. Drive through the city of Abuja. Isn't it beautiful? That is oil money. In addition, we are here opposing the stopping of oil exploration and moving to renewable energy. I ask, can it be sustained in Nigeria? I know that Nigeria has significant renewable energy potentials, particularly in wind, solar, hydropower, and biomass. But renewable energy is not a short-term plan of 1, 2, 3 years. It is to be Nigeria's new revenue provider. Furthermore, Nigeria has the track record of each successive government having its own agenda, lack of continuity, and relatively new democratic government when compared to the United States democracy. In conclusion, renewable energy is so much demanding in funds and technology that it's only the revenue gotten from oil exploration that can provide the funding for it. So to suggest that Nigeria stops oil exploration and focus on renewable energy is to suggest that a woman should be killed in preference to the expected baby from the pregnancy she is yet to conceive. Thank you.
Standing on existing protocol, my name is Kobo Erikato from Government Science and Technical College, Area 3 Garki, Abuja, under the senior category. I am here to oppose the motion which says Nigeria should stop oil exploration and focus on renewable energy. We have heard from my first speaker the meaning of oil exploration, renewable energy, stop. Therefore, I am opposing the motion with the following point of mind. 1. Nigeria does not have the facility to store this renewable energy when produced. Renewable energy by nature are intermittent. Batteries are required to collect energy and store energy during peak production period for distribution in a controlled, consistent manner during period of low or no production. What this means is that during rainy season, where there is minimum sunshine, can Nigeria still have energy to use? If Nigeria moves from fossil fuel to renewable energy, what is the assurance that our vehicles will still move? Our house is better lit, increase in production output, and so on. Moreover, if Nigeria cannot facilitate the storage of its agricultural products, is it renewable energy they can store? 2. Before the advance of oil exploration, Nigeria still experiences various climatic seasons as the country still experiences dry season, rainy season, harmattan. Nothing has changed in the various climatic seasons we experience. 3. Moreover, why Nigeria is recognized around the world today is majorly from the benefits of oil exploration. Scholarship has been given from wealth gotten from oil exploration, universities built from oil money, employment gotten because of oil exploration, which has helped improve the life of their dependents. 4. Nigeria lacks the skilled personnel to focus on renewable energy. Even if we can train personnel in renewable energy technologies and project management, it takes a very long time. This makes stopping oil exploration impossible because money will be needed to train these personnel. Thank you.